Ita de maluja Buddha Data Sutta Muda Vinya De Sutta Mesu Date Data Matam Boesati Sute Sutta Matam Boesati Mute Muda Matam Boesati Vinya De Vinya Da Matam Bi Boesati. This is meditation instruction given by our Lord Buddha. Herein, of those things seen, heard, reached, and cognized. In what is seen, there will be only the seen. In what is heard, there will be only the heard. In what is reached, there will be only the reached. In what is cognized, there will be only the cognized. Suppose there is a mound where an iguana or a lizard lives. Suppose there are 6 holes in the mound. In order to catch that iguana, you have to close the 5 holes and you have to sit at the 6th hole to catch it when it comes up. This is meditation instruction. What that means? That means we have to close the 5 senses and we have to act at the mind door, or we have to walk with the mind. This means it is not that we must close our eyes or we must not close our ears in order to practice meditation. Even though it may be possible to close our eyes and ears, it is not possible to close our nose, tongue and body. So we have to understand that whenever some object is presented to these 5 senses, do not let there be the impulsion stage. Just stop at the decision stage or determining a stage and then go over to the mind door and practice vipassana meditation. Again, we have to go to witty thought process. When we see something, visible objects comes to the avenue of eye door, and in active consciousness, Bhavinga vibrates 3 times, and then active consciousness, that is turning to the object, Pinchadwara, that is adverting moment or turning moment. After the turning moment, there comes seeing consciousness, that is called see moment or seeing consciousness. After the seeing moment disappears, there comes receiving moment. After the receiving moment comes the moment of investigation. In this moment, the object is investigated as to whether it is a desirable object or an undesirable object, as to whether it is an agreeable object or disagreeable object or neutral object. After the investigation comes a determining moment. At this moment, the object is determined as agreeable, disagreeable or neutral. Once the object is determined, there follow moments of the real experiencing the object. These moments are said to run for 7 times under normal condition. These moments are the most active. They are the productive moments. These moments can be accompanied by either attachment, lust or craving, or they can be accompanied by anger, hatred, aversion, worry and also delusion. These follow the moment of decision. After these very active moments of consciousness, that is javana. So javana 7 times. After then, what comes? Registration. The registration 2 times. They are followed 2 moments of registration. These 2 moments take the objects taken by the active moments preceding them. Then the inactive consciousness arises again. So you see, after 2 registration, there come strings of Bhavinga. So Bhavinga is inactive. Inactive consciousness comes again. So this is the thought process that arises when we see something. It is unbelievable that there could be so many moments in just an act of seeing. So we can understand that there is multiplicity of events taking place in a single act of seeing. So when seeing something, our mind is greatly absorbed in the different moments many different moments. You see, he pass Bowenga, vibration of Bowenga, arrest Bowenga, 5-door adverting, eye consciousness, receiving, investigating, determining, Javana impulsion and registration 2 times, many moments. Can we see this? These moments? No, these moments cannot be seen by ordinary people because they are so small. These moments are so short and so subtle. But the mind of the Lord Buddha is very sharp, so Buddha can see all these moments. Buddha described these moments so that we understand that there are all these moments involved in just one single act of seeing. Remember the instruction, Dite Dita Mattam Bodhisati, in what is seen, there will be only the seen. So when we see, we have to note seeing. So after seeing, if you can stop at the decision moment or determining moment and not go over to the impulsion, Javana, you not go over to the impulsion moments or the moments of really experiencing the object, that is the best. So the best things to do is what? The best thing to do is to stop at the decision moment or Votapana, determining consciousness. So we have to practice meditation, we have to sharpen our mindfulness and concentration and wisdom. If mindfulness, concentration and wisdom develop, it cannot reach to the stage of Javana. Javana, you can stop at the decision moment. There may be two or three decision moments or determining moments and not get into taking that object as permanent, pleasant, and so on. You stop at the Votapana because Vipassana, Jnana appear at this stage. Is it possible to stop at such a very small moment, very short moment, and not let it run until the end of the process? It is unbelievable, but it is possible. It is possible only through the constant application of mindfulness. When your mindfulness, concentration and understanding mature, then you will be able to stop even at the moments of decision, even at the moments of determining moment, and not go over to impulsion stages. So it is said that these thought moments run more than 1 billion times in a second. So during practicing meditation, can you understand the functions of mind? Can it happen 1 billion times in a second? So thought moments can run. But with the instrument of mindfulness, concentration and wisdom, practitioner can be able to stop at the decision moment and not go over to the impulsion moment. So, when Buddha said, Dite Dita Mattam Bodhisati, there will only be the seeing, what Buddha meant that you should stop at just that moment of decision or determining moment. So what happened if we cannot stop at Votapana, determining moment? If we cannot stop determining moment, there will be the impulsion moment, Javana. We go to Javana. So there will be the most productive moments 7 times. So there may be either wholesome or unwholesome mental states. But luckily, the object is stay Paramatha, ultimate reality. Yogi's mind was not bent on the concept of masculinity and femininity. So there may be either wholesome or unwholesome mental states, but these wholesome or unwholesome mental states are very weak, and so they cannot give many results. So remind again, note immediately. If we can note immediately at that moment, we can capture the Paramatha. If we are able to note immediately, we can experience Paramatha, both the visible object and noting mind. But we forget to note. We used to think, so story become longer. If we cannot stop there, And then there we follow another mental process. There follow another thought process. We always go back to what we have seen. We always go back to what we have experienced. So the next moment comes, the next moment or the next phase, it is called recollecting phase. Yes, we always go back to the past. We always recollect. So recollecting phase. During the recollecting phase, our mind takes the object which has just been seen. Our mind takes the object which has disappeared from the avenue of the eye door. So the next phase, recollecting phase number 1. So takes the object which has just gone out of existence. Yes, we have a chance. If we note, if we mindful, there is a big chance. If we cannot stop at the first thought process, we may be able to stop at the second thought process, recollecting number 1. So this recollecting number 1 or the second thought process does not arise through the 5 senses, but through the mind door. So if we can stop at the second thought process or recollecting number 1, it is still good, because that thought process takes the object which is reality, paramattha. It is not a concept yet. After taking that object and experiencing it, and if we can stop there and not go to the later phases, it is still good. We will not have either attachment or anger or hatred with regard to that object which we have seen. Remember, at this stage, if we are mindful, if we can note, it's good. But we forget to note, we not mindful. Yogi experience a lot. Sometimes the wandering long, forget to note, so the thinking might not stop. If we cannot stop at that second moment or recollecting number 1, then we will go over to the third phase. So during the third phase, we begin to see not reality or paramattha gone, now concept, piñati come. So we begin to see a tree, we begin to see a being, we begin to see a man, we begin to see a woman, etc. During the first phase or the second phase, what we see is just the visible object. You just see the object, you just see the visible object. We cannot say that we see a tree or we see a being or we see a man or woman. No. But here, during the third phase or recollecting number 2, what we see, we come to see the man, we come to see the woman, and we come to see the tree. So when we see the concepts, these are concepts, these are not reality. Man, woman, tree are all concepts, not reality. They are called santana piñati, the only concept regarding shape and form. Shape and form appear in this stage, and what happened? We come to have liking or disliking about these things. And so we acquire the wholesome or unwholesome mental states at that moment, because we are not mindful. So we are not mindful, so there after coming to the third stage, we will go over to the fourth stage. That is recollecting number 3. So recollecting number 3, this stage, we can think of the names of those concepts. The names become clear. At the third phase, recollecting number 2, we just see the man or woman, the shape or form. But this stage, the nama piñati, the concepts regarding names become clear. It is Mr. A, it is Mr. B. I like this because it is beautiful. I don't like this because it is ugly, etc. So now concepts is very clear. Concepts come because we are not mindful, we are deluded. Moha delusion cover up the true nature of things. Moha delusion has the tendency to hide. So when we see something, how many thought process? Seeing thought process and recollecting 1, recollecting 2, recollecting 3. Altogether 4 thought process or 4 phases of thoughts arising one after the other when we see something. So we have been seeing things and we have been taking them at the conceptual stage for so long that it is almost impossible for us to stop at the end of the first process or at the end of the second process. Almost we always run over to the third phase and the fourth phase. That is why we cannot see under normal circumstances when we are not meditating, when we are not mindful, we cannot see things as they really are. We cannot capture the Paramattha, ultimate reality. So in order to see things as they really are, we have to apply mindfulness, we have to apply concentration, and we have to apply understanding with diligence, with singleness of purpose. And what Buddha said, Ditta Mattam Bodhisati, there will only be the seen, there will only be the heart, etc. That means we must stop at just what is seen and not go over to taking it as a being or a man or a woman. And also we are not to have attachment or anger towards that visible object. Can we do? Yes. In order to be able to do, we have to be able to apply mindfulness, concentration, wisdom or understanding with diligence. So because of this, we come here, all the yogis are here in the retreat. When a practitioner reach the stage of vipassana knowledge, that means when he reach the Bhikkanyana, the knowledge of dissolution, and he see the dissolution of phenomena, and when he reach the stage of Sankharipikanyana, when he reach the higher stage of the knowledge of equanimity, he will be able to stop at only what is seen and not let it go over. So in the Maluccabuddha Sutta, what Buddha reminded, do you have people? The Maluccabuddha Sutta. If we are not mindful, if we do not practice meditation, we forget to note when we see. So we like good object and then we leave Dharma behind. We leave Sati behind and we cling to that object, we cling to pleasure, and we hold it fast in our mind. Clinging, and many feelings arises, many feelings increase because we looking for the pleasure, and pleasant feeling, unpleasant feeling increase. When feeling from seeing increase and abound, and greed and anger expand, and our mind is very busy, and mind is pulled down. So in this way, you are not practitioner, you are not in calm, you will become a seeker of woe. And if you seek woe, because you are not mindful, you are far from the state of calm, you are far from Nibbana's fold. Please follow my recitation. Liking a good object, you will leave Dharma behind.
You will leave Dharma behind.
Liking a good object, you will leave Dharma behind.
You will leave Dharma behind.
Clinging to pleasure, you will hold it fast. In your mind. Clinging to pleasure, you will hold it fast. In your mind. When feelings from seeing, increase and abound, greed and anger expand, and mind is pulled down. In this way, you will become a seeker of woe. He who seeks woe is far from Nibbana's fold. So if we are not mindful, if we not practice meditation, we are far from Nibbana, we are far from the state of calm. So in the Maluccabuddha Sutta, Buddha reminded don't forget, as soon as you encounter the object, you have to note. So we have to stop our discourse for today by practicing Satipatthana Vipassana meditation, by observing every object, by observing every phenomena occurring at the six senses continuously and meticulously. May you realize the real peace in the very near future.